Many years ago at my very first sales job, one of my top performing senior sales colleagues took me aside at one point in time and he told me the following. He said, "You're a pretty good talker, good communicator, and you present things pretty well, but you have a way to go until you'll become a good salesperson." What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video here on the Pago Academy YouTube channel. I would like to talk to you today in this video about quite a pivotal moment very early on in my sales career. A concept that I then learned that has stuck with me and that I have continued to kind of live by and stand by throughout my entire sales career is also the concept that is one of the key backbones of the agency that I founded 7 years ago and that I run to this very day. I kind of want to share where I was before and what kind of changed afterwards and how that has shaped the way that I view the sales profession, and it has shaped the way that I have been from that moment on able to increase my results and consequently as well increase my personal income. As with everything here on this channel, I share the things that we see working as we work with and for our clients every day. Some of you that have been following the videos know that I run an agency that supports young bootstrapped companies and helps them improve the way they sell in an enterprise sales environment, high ticket sales, long sales cycles. We integrate into our client sales teams. We work with and for them. And so the things that we learn as we try and improve their operations and their results, the things that we learn there, I try and share here on the channel. This very video today is no different because this is a pivotal lesson that I learned very early on and something that I am adamant about sharing with all of the clients that we work with, because it is something that I see and that my team sees very often being an issue. So I want to give you a little bit of context as to what my very first sales job was all about. This is pre-2008, so pre the financial crisis. Back then, I was initially a real estate agent. I was living in the wonderful city of Budapest in Hungary, in Eastern Europe, and I was selling properties to foreign investors or foreign individuals that were traveling to Hungary with the idea of purchasing a second or sometimes third or fourth home. Kind of our clients, our potential buyers fell into one or two categories. One were there purely from an investment point of view, and the others were there kind of from a second, third home point of view with more of an emotional, kind of personal underlying tone there. This particular colleague that I mentioned, he had been kind of paying close attention to how I was going about trying to sell the properties that were on our books. And he said to me at some point, he said, "Look, listen, you are leaving money on the table. You're not capturing the commission that you could be capturing." And he told me it was because I was being very hands-off. I wasn't being proactive enough. He told me that I'm seeing you just go through the motions. You're doing the bare minimum. You're essentially just presenting people with a few options, and then you're leaving them to their own devices to come up or to reach the purchasing decision all by themselves. And he said, some of them you will close because, you know, you're just lucky because some of the potential buyers that you're speaking to are reaching that point themselves. They're going through the motions themselves. They're kind of running that equation in their head and they're reaching the point where they say, okay, this is a good decision. I am going to do this. And he said, but at the same time, you're also leaving a lot of people hanging that need some guidance, that need some help throughout that purchasing process, that decision-making process, and you're losing them. And so from that moment in time, he started explaining to me what the difference is between merely presenting people with options or an option and or the flip side of that, or the much improved version of that is, yes, presenting them with the options, but then also becoming their confidant, collaborator, trusted partner to help them guide them through the decision-making process, analyze the pros and cons of the option or the different options, and then together with them reach the ideal decision, the perfect decision, if you'd like, for them at that moment in time. He told me, unless you will start doing that deeper level, that second kind of more profound way of communicating and talking and selling, essentially, you will never obtain the level of personal income that you could actually obtain, given the fact that you are, you know, relatively gifted with the fact that you are an okay communicator. And so this very concept was a bit of a wake-up call to me, and it's something that I still see to this very day with a lot of the clients that we work with today. A lot of people just present or demonstrate their solution, software or something else, and then just leave their potential buyers up to their own devices. They sit back and then they just operate on a wing and a prayer, hope for the best, and hope that the potential buyers will come to the decision by themselves. Sometimes that works. More often than not, it doesn't. Why? Because in the business-to-business environment, the solution selling environment, you are typically up against other businesses. Your potential buyers are reviewing other options as well. And if they are interacting with a sales team that is doing a better job at not just simply presenting, but they're also kind of guiding them through the decision-making process, outweighing the pros and cons based on their particular situation, then you will always lose. And that is in fact something that we see very often. And as you know, we work with startup companies and they are sometimes already at a disadvantage because of the fact that they're a startup, so they need to be able to hang on to any element that can help them sell more effectively. And so back to that initial little bit of context, back to my initial job, what my colleague at that moment in time told me is that for you to be able to become that trusted partner, that confidant, you have to figure out why they are where they are. In the context of the real estate gig, it was trying to uncover with the potential buyers why they are looking to really buy that second, third, fourth home. What is the driver of the outcome that they are looking for? And he said to me, once you know that, the ins and outs of that, you can have more impactful conversations with them. You can outweigh the different properties that you're showing to them. You can highlight why one property might be more suited particularly for them based on their particular situation. And he told me is that what you're doing at this moment in time, I've been noticing, he says, you're being very superficial about it. You're asking the questions that every real estate agent in the world is asking at this moment in time, which are the questions along the lines of what are you looking for, how many bedrooms, what's your budget, and the area. And that's where you stop. You then come together with a list of options, you present to them, and then you just hope for the best. He said, lest you know deeply what drives the purchasing decision, why they are there, then you will not be able to, one, come up with a very good curated list, nor will you be able to guide them through the decision-making process as you're presenting them with the different options. Now, the same thing applies when you're trying to sell a solution in a business-to-business environment. The potential buyers that you're talking to, they're one, looking for a particular outcome. That outcome will be linked to solving a particular problem that they are faced with in their business, or they are faced with in the line of work that they're doing for the business that they're working for. Now they're looking to solve that, they're looking for a particular outcome, and they will be motivated by particular reasons to get to that outcome. Unless you as a salesperson will truly deeply know what that is, how that looks like, what that means to them if they don't solve it, what it potentially means to them if they do solve it, what are the upsides, what are the downsides, and all of that, building that entire image, outlining the ecosystem together with them, truly deeply understanding, then you will not be able to cater your list of options, and you will not be able to work with them, guide them through, and get them to the point of reaching the ideal decision, the ideal option for them. So in summary, become more than a presenter. Present based on truly deeply wanting to uncover the outcome that they are looking for and why it is that particular outcome that they are looking for. Then cater your questions so that you uncover that outcome. Once you know the outcome, then guide them through the presentation of the option based on the outcome. Continuously work on linking the outcome with what it is that you are presenting. Move beyond that superficial nature of entering into a sales interaction, asking a couple of bland questions, running your pitch, and then sitting back and hoping for the best. You will never be able to become above average, let alone excellent, unless you start digging deeper, unless you start going to that second, deeper level. Stop being a presenter, become a guide towards the ideal decision for somebody that is in front of them. Become a collaborator early on. And stop thinking that your presentation, your PowerPoint, the slides, the images, the visuals, how it's laid out, the sequence is all that important. It is really not. It is almost the last thing that you should be worrying about, because the first thing that you should be worrying about is why are they there with you? What is driving them? Understand that, truly, deeply grasp that, sense the motivation behind that, and then get to work in making the bridge, making the link between the outcome and what it is that you have to sell. that'll be that for this video today. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, a thumbs up, as always, will be massively appreciated. Check out some of the other stuff on the channel, and if you like the videos that are up there right now, consider subscribing to the channel. That way you will be kept updated whenever I release a new piece of content. For now, I'd like to thank you very much for your time. Stay productive today. Keep cracking on. Keep putting in the numbers, and eventually you will get better at what you are doing, whether it's sales or anything else. Thank you again. Have a good rest of the day, and I will see you very soon in one of the next videos. Bye-bye.